So continuing on to question 6, I learned to get comfortable with criticism. So in the past I wasn't comfortable with criticism at all. I didn't accept. I did accept it, but it was like I took it to heart. I took it like really bad, and I never really acknowledged it, and I didn't do much of it because in my mind I was like, yeah, no, I'm not gonna do that. So in this class I learned that when people usually give you criticism, they don't mean it in a harmful way, and they're just trying to help you improve and succeed. So for that, and exactly this one, this is my example. My first draft, I deleted it because I don't know why, but I deleted it, and it was just a very bad comic book. But our professor told me that wasn't good, and I needed to work and I could do better, and I had to get panels from comics and make a collage or something with it. So I did exactly that in this assignment, which was my first one, and I actually took a criticism, and I could have just stayed with my 70 or 60, I don't remember what it was, but I tried my best and I took a criticism, and yeah. So in the future, I can acknowledge and accept criticism and not overreact or take it to heart, since people are usually just trying to help me and not actually tear me down like I believe they are. So yeah. I also learned to put myself in someone's shoes through peer evaluation. So in the past, I never really considered how someone else would feel or how it felt to ask for specific help. I would assume they would sort of figure it out on their own, and that's just not really the case. We have to help and put ourselves in other people's shoes in order to help them and receive help. And in this class, I learned by participating in class discussions where we had to help our classmates. It's important because we get to know what someone else is going through and what exactly they need help. So that way, you know how exactly to ask help in order to give it. And a good example would be here when Kaylin asked something, and then I was like, "Hi, Kaylin, I personally feel like a video." So I put myself as if I were her, and I was like, "If I were you, I would do this." So yeah. And in the future, I can do In the future, I can use this knowledge to be more compassionate and helpful when giving criticism, because some people get very nervous and shy, and we need to know how to approach them in order to help them succeed. So yeah, and moving on to question 7, I learned that feedback is more effective when you tell them that your problem is specifically what you want. So in the past, I wouldn't ask for help at all. Even when I needed it, I would just keep quiet or be very vague about what I needed help with, even though I knew exactly what I needed help with. And in this class, I learned to ask exactly for what I need, but the way it could actually help me. This way, I got actual useful information from others, and it helped me with my issues. And a good example would be, so here I asked Christina for something. It was very my question for her, like more my feedback that I wanted, and that I specifically asked for, like, what do you think when you read my topics? What interests you about it? Like, how would you start my assignment? Do you think I'm on the right track and stuff like that? And Christina, in a very thoughtful way, went into very detail about how I should do my research, what she thought about my research. She basically just answered every question I had, and yeah, and a good way that I could incorporate this knowledge in the future would be by applying it to my future career. I want to be an MLS, a medical laboratory scientist, and sometimes I would have to ask for help in order to finish analyzing stuff. But since the work is very specific, I'm gonna have to make very specific questions and ask for help in a very specific way. I also learned that sometimes we get blocked from looking at the same project for a week, and sometimes the answer is very simple, others can see. So in the past, I would just get stuck not knowing how to show on what I really wanted to do. I would just sit there and not know what to really do. I had this idea, but not really. So in this class, I learned to communicate, and I need to share what I kind of want to do, and that way my classmates and my professor can help me. And a good example would be this. I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I did, but I didn't. I knew that I wanted to show comics that, like, of people of color in, like, the lead, but I didn't know how. So Christina gave me this idea of, like, putting the comics in, like, a link or a thread, and then I said it in class, and the professor said, like, yeah, you can make it like an infographic, and then at the bottom you just link, like, various comics. And that's exactly what I did. I made an infographic, and then I just linked comics in the comments. Some comics with people of color in the lead and, like, minorities that, like, we should support, and if you're interested in them, you can help support them too. So what I think people should expect to learn in this class is that I think in this class the most important thing you will learn is how to analyze and comprehend sources. Like, that's the most important thing I got from this class, and the one that I'll take forever probably. But along with that, you're going to learn how to convert your research into media that's understandable to your audience. Like, that's the two most important things you'll probably take from this class. How to analyze and comprehend your sources, and how to convert your research that you got from sources into comprehensible, like, posts or podcasts for your audience. I feel like the biggest worry or concern, fear, or difficulty that people might have is that I think the biggest fear will be, like, that it all will seem so overwhelming and new because we're using social media. And, like, I don't think many people do this, so I just think it's gonna feel like it's gonna be too much. But following along in the next questions, what are the best ways to overcome these fears and worries? I feel like you don't really have to be scared of anything in this class, especially because I feel it's, like, really innovative, and it's like you're actively doing your work while in class, and, like, you're just doing your work all the time, and it doesn't seem like work because you're not gonna be writing, like, these papers and essays. So, like, unless you don't plan on doing anything at all during this class, you will be fine, because it's not hard. You just have to put work into it, but it's not hard. You just have to pay attention in class, ask questions when you're lost, or go to meetings if you're lost, and just don't procrastinate that much, because I know everyone procrastinates, and at the end of the day, there's nothing to be afraid of. Just do your work, ask questions, ask for help. Not if you don't want you to beg for a teacher, okay, ask help from your classmates, from your friends that are in this class. Just you have to be able to communicate in order to succeed. So yeah, that was my final reflection for this class, and what I learned throughout the semester, which have been a lot of research strategies, how to communicate, how to give criticism, how to receive criticism. And I really enjoy this course, and I hope many people enjoy this course, and many more people in the next semester enjoy this course with you.